Investigator Asif Khan arrived as the humid monsoon wind rattled the glass panes. The crime scene was bafflingly immaculate. There were no signs of a struggle, no forced entry, and no fingerprints besides those of the victim. The medical examiner delivered the first shattering revelation. Kamran Shah had been dead for at least 12 hours. This placed the time of death at 9 o'clock the previous evening. Yet, the security logs and 3 separate witnesses swore they heard Kamran speaking loudly on his telephone at midnight. How could a dead man hold a conversation behind a locked door? Kamran Shah was a pillar of the elite Clifton community, known for his philanthropy and immense wealth. He was a man of rigid, unyielding routines. Every evening, he drank green tea served by his trusted office-bearer, a man named Haris who had been with the family for 3 decades. Kamran was also a man with deep secrets. His textile empire was secretly faltering under a mountain of debt, and he had been locked in a bitter legal battle with powerful land developers. Asif Khan discovered that Kamran always wore a distinctive gold wristwatch, a family heirloom. It was missing from his wrist. The investigation focused on the midnight telephone call. Cellular tower records confirmed that Kamran's personal phone did indeed make an outbound call to his eldest son at exactly midnight. The son wept as he played the voicemail for the police. The voice was unmistakably Kamran's, instructing his son regarding the distribution of the family estate. Asif Khan listened closely to the background audio. Beneath the familiar voice, there was a faint, rhythmic ticking sound. It was the precise, mechanical sound of an antique pendulum clock. But there was no clock in the modern executive office. Suspects emerged from the shadows of the high society elite. The rival developers had a clear motive, but their alibis were airtight. The loyal office-bearer, Haris, was interrogated next. He maintained his innocence, claiming he left the office at 8 in the evening after serving the tea. However, a search of Haris's modest home in Lyre revealed a hidden compartment beneath the floorboards. Inside lay the missing gold wristwatch and a sophisticated digital voice recorder. The recording device contained hours of Kamran Shah's casual conversations, meticulously edited into fragments. The grand illusion began to unravel violently. Asif Khan realized the midnight phone call was an elaborate deception. The killer had used the pre-recorded audio fragments to simulate a live conversation, creating a false timeline for the time of death. This brilliant manipulation meant the murder did not happen at midnight. It happened before the office was locked. Suddenly, the airtight alibis of the suspects who were accounted for at midnight became completely irrelevant. The true window of death was between 8 and 9 in the evening, the exact time Haris was seen leaving. The final piece of the puzzle fell into place with the autopsy toxicology report. Kamran Shah had not been shot while awake. He had been heavily sedated with a rare, tasteless muscle relaxant slipped into his evening green tea. Haris had drugged his employer, shot him using a silencer, and then staged the locked room. He exited the room, locked it from the outside using a specialized magnetic tool, and later triggered the pre-recorded phone call from a remote location. The motive was not corporate greed. It was revenge for a family grievance buried for 30 years. Haris was convicted, but the case left a lingering chill over Karachi. The brilliant execution of the crime showed how easily technology could manipulate the truth and deceive the eyes of justice. The empty executive suite in Clifton remains locked to this day, a silent monument to a perfect crime that failed by a single ticking sound. True crime reminds us that the most loyal shadows often harbor the deadliest intent. The secrets of the elite are never truly safe, even behind locked doors.